Hello, welcome to the stream. Who have we got in here? Glimpse. Connected streaming in 58 minutes on FC25. Indeed, I am. Welcome to the chat, Glimpse. I hope you're well. And thank you for tuning in. And thank you for commenting. Look, a lot to be done tonight. If you don't know, I've got 3 streams, including this one. Need to turn on this light here, just to make the light a bit nicer. There we go. But yeah, nonetheless, we got 3 streams today. We got this one, and then like Glimpse said, we got one in less than an hour on FC25. It's back. And then we got one at 9 doing a transfer roundup. So a lot to be done, and I'm excited to do it all. So much news is coming through, and it's exciting times. But we'll dive straight into the preview here, and straight into the predicted 11, because why not? Just allow me to open up a tab here for myself. And yes, there you go. So, starting off, Ortega in goal. It's confirmed that Edison is still unavailable to injury, apparently, from what I've heard. Some people are saying that he's trying to freeze himself out of the squad. But we'll see about that, won't we, as time develops and grows. At the right back of Rico, look, I would much rather Rico than Walker. No disrespect to Walker, but I desperately want to win this game, and I thought Rico wasn't too bad. Hull lost to Middlesbrough 1-0 in the 94th minute on Wednesday. Ouch, it's gonna hurt. Isn't that Michael Carrick's team? He's managing them, isn't he? Right? Let me know. Yeah, but Rico, I really wanted to start, because I thought he was decent against Leicester. And, if we can build up a bit of momentum with this back line, then it could be really good for us, actually getting a back line that's fit and ready. But we'll see. Moving on from Rico, though, goes to the centre-backs, Akanji and Ake. With no Diaz available, this is definitely the partnership we're going to have to go with. And if one of these ain't available, then Vardy will slot in at the left back. We got Leeds at home tomorrow, Derby Day. Ooh, tough one for you. Leeds are usually up there, high in the league, to my knowledge. Yeah, it's a tough one. But on Ake and Akanji again, hopefully these two can avoid an injury. West Ham, not an easy one by any means, because look, these two are playing good, especially Ake. Ake tends to play well. He just gets injured quite a bit. It tends to bear fruit for us when we can have these guys playing good. And they can only play good if they actually play and actually get a decent run of games going in. Left back, Josko Vardio. Look, I think it was a step up against Leicester. Leicester, the game still had a lot of flaws, but look, he had that bad header towards Ortega, which gave Vardy a chance, but Ortega saved it. So, bad mistake, but Ortega covered you, which was fine. I think 3-0 Leeds, they're top of the league. Yeah, I knew they were quite high up. Sunderland's still in the top 2. Was it this season that I'm trying to think. Was it this season that Meslier dropped, completely just missed the ball, and it just kind of went in? Was it this season? I can't remember. I know Sunderland were near the top though, at the very least. Bernardo and Kova leading the DM. Not my ideal pivot, but it's the pivot we'll have to go with, I feel. I think these two did quite well against Leicester again. Look, nothing's going to match Rodri, but look, I think this was a lot better, this pivot, than what we've seen over the last few weeks. If we play it again, then that would be nice. But yeah, we'll see. Now then, front four. Four. I'm going with McAtee off the right. I really want to see McAtee play. I think he was brilliant against Leicester from what we saw of him, and we saw him for less than half an hour. So probably about half an hour actually, if you include added time. So I think if he actually gets a chance to start a game, then I think he can really help us. There's no denying what a talent he is. He's already played a season of the Premier League without us, by the way. He was with Sheffield United. He knows what it's like to be down in the dumps in the Prem. Help him get us help us get out of the dumps, and the dumps for us is 5th place, isn't it? 6th place even. So look, McAtee, if we don't play this guy, then he's going to leave. Newcastle are sniffing, and Newcastle are above us. Other teams will be looking. Dortmund have been interested in the past. McAtee is a wanted player, and we're fortunate to have him. We're fortunate to have such talents come from our academy. It's make or break this month for McAtee. His minutes this month probably depends on whether he will leave this month, and then his minutes throughout the rest of the season, if he decides to stay after January, his minutes throughout the rest of the season will decide on whether he leaves in the summer. This guy deserves minutes. Other players have been underperforming. It's about time that he plays. Ipswich want Philogene. They might be able to get him on loan. He hasn't played tons for Villa, to my knowledge. Although he did start against Bayern Munich. Yes, Elijah. Hope you're doing good, mate. Big ups. Happy New Year. I believe I've already wished you that, but oh well, it's only the 3rd day. I think it's still normal to wish a Happy New Year. If Ipswich get Liam Delap, Hutchinson, Philogene, Greaves. Was that your old squad? You guys had 3 of them. I don't know if you had Hutchinson. Moving on to the cam, though. I've gone Phil Foden. I don't know why. I just feel like he's going to start this game. I don't think he's going to start off the right if McAtee's playing. And I don't think he's going to play off the left if Savinho's playing. And so I put him at the cam. I don't know why. I just think he's going to play. I hope he can play well. I always want Phil Foden doing what he can do. But we'll see. High score next week. Unlucky Elijah, mate. Tough one. Enjoy what time you have left off. If they take 3 of our players, that's wild. There you go. Yes, this is City. Big ups to you. I believe you said you were going out on wasn't it on your Instagram? Didn't you say that on your post that you was going live a bit earlier, and so you were going out? So I don't know if you've gone out yet, but if you have, hope you had a nice time out, and if you're yet to, then hope you have a nice time out later, and if you're out right now, have a good time. What great news last night. I know I'm not going to talk about it too much, but trust me, I'm really happy. I'm really happy with the news, especially the Fabrizio Romano news. I don't really know how good Martin Blackburn is, but the fact that we're getting news, it's good. It's all good stuff. I've only seen 5-second clips of the centre back that we're interested in, Abdou Kodir, and he looks like a wall. Of course, highlight reels make players look better, but I don't know. He just looks really exciting. So we're gonna have a lot of competition for him. We're gonna talk about him later. But yeah, I'm gonna try and keep that talk to a low for now because I'm back at 9, so we will talk about that tonight. Watch Lion King Mufasa. Oh yeah, I forgot that movie was coming out. Jack Gorn, bingo. There you go. That's big then. That's huge. It's huge if he's confirming it. Again, that's 2. Those are 2 good quality players. Marmoush has got 30 goal contributions for Frankfurt this season in 24 games. We could use some of that, couldn't we? Did you see Sonic 3? No. If you're asking me, no, I haven't. But I've seen spoilers for it. I think it looks pretty cool, to be fair. I'm not the biggest Sonic fan, but I'm not a Sonic hater either. It's had how they went from best friends in football to enemies, man. Oh, oh my lord! I was trying to think about football then. I was thinking about football. I was like, wait, what players is he talking about? No, you're on about Scar and Mufasa, aren't you? Anyway, yeah, back to football. Savini off the left. Look, I really want Savini to play off the left because against Leicester, he gets a goal, he gets an assist. So if you can have anything like that again, I would be very happy with him. But if you could just create chances, and do the business and all that, then that would be great. You know, the ball he whips into Haaland is inch perfect, and more passes like that from Savinio are going to rack up numbers for him. You know, he's on 7 GNA this season, so he's not doing awful. He just needed the goal. You know, there's a misconception that he's having a really poor season, you know, but he's not doing bad. His performances have been solid whenever he's played. You know, he's had bad moments, of course he has. Okay, it's not been perfect, but he's certainly not been horrendous, you know. He's not been like horrific to watch. He's on 6 assists, he's on 1 goal, and if he can just start racking up those numbers a bit more frequently, then we'd be really going somewhere. And we'll see how it goes on that regard. Let's go back over here. If we lose tomorrow, draw, it'll just feel like Leicester game is a waste of time, like the Forest game. Yeah, we need to win. You know, 2025. It's got to be new year, new me type year for City. You know, we've really got to transform. We've got to take this game by storm. Look, West Ham. Let's check out West Ham's form. I know that they haven't been having the greatest season of all time. They are 13th in the league. Let's have a look. Blinking out. Computer's being slow. There we go. Here we go. They're 13th in the league. They've got 1 win. They've lost their last game. 2 wins in the last 5. 2 draws. Goal conceding record's not great. They've conceded 35 this season, so, you know, that's not too bad. And when you compare it to other teams, they have conceded the tied most amount of goals in the top 16. So, you know, they've conceded a lot of goals. The only teams that conceded more than them are Southampton, Leicester, and Wolves. And in terms of scoring goals, they've scored 23, which, again, is not tons. It's where they belong in the league, really. You know, United have scored 21. So it's about where they belong to be. Marmoush to be the next Salah. Imagine. I hope we have him by Brentford and he wins us the game, and it will make Arsenal fans cry who are desperate for him. Weather conditions tomorrow will be bad. The players no snow until the night there. Must be a shock for players like Savinio. Hopefully he can manage fine, you know. But yeah, it's going to be a bit of a shock. He's mainly played in hot countries, from my knowledge. You know, Girona, obviously, Spain. Known for being not ridiculously hot, but known for it having a bit more heat than around here. And I don't actually know what it's like in the Netherlands, because I know he played for PSV, but I know he picked up a bad injury that kept him out for a while. So I don't actually know what it's like there, and I don't really know what it's like in France either. But I know in Spain it's quite hot, and obviously Brazil is quite hot too, where it's from. Moving on, though, to the up top, Erling Haaland. There isn't really anyone else for the up top unless you want to play false 9 and Phil Foden, McAtee, or someone else. Who remembers Man City West Ham was in the snow? I'm trying to think of the game. What season? I'm trying to think of all our games. It wasn't last season. We played West Ham. We played West Ham in September. It couldn't be season before because we played them first game of the season. I'm trying to remember. When would that have been? Elijah, it was actually a good film. Connect, can you defend me? I'm not gonna lie, I haven't watched either. I've merely seen clips of both. I saw this one song in Mufasa, which made me laugh. Not because it was bad, but just because I thought it was funny. 21-22 is in, of course, yeah. Oh man. Hello, Thomas Wilson. Big ups for tuning in. Hope you're well. Classic wave. Was it the brother song? Yes. Of course it was. It was just funny. I get why he's singing it like, but like, it's how he's saying it. I know he's saying it with like 2 A's on the end, is how people have been describing it. He's like saying, brother. It's so. Oh, that song. I haven't seen the other songs. You know, they could be worse, they could be better. But I've seen that song and it's just like, ooh. Sonic 3 had more box office than Lion King. Man, this is not the conversation I was expecting to be like the off topic talk today. Sonic versus Lion King. I haven't watched Sonic 3. I haven't watched Mufasa. I don't really have opinions on either of them. I tend to wait for the Sonic movies to come to Netflix, and then I'll watch them because they tend to come on a bit like a year after. Because I don't dislike Sonic, but I don't love him either. You know, he's all right. He's fine. Big up everyone tuning in. Gonna look at West Ham's away form now, though. So, away form. Here we go. Well, a 1-0 win against Southampton, bottom of the league. A 1-1 draw to Bournemouth. A 3-1 loss to Leicester. A 2-0 win against Newcastle. That was big. 3-0 loss to Forest. 4-1 loss to Tottenham. 1-1 draw to Brentford. It's very mixed from what I'm reading. A 5-1 loss to Liverpool. And yeah, we're going back to when we played them now. So it's quite mixed on their form. West Ham are bad with respect. Anything other than a win is unacceptable. Yeah, their form, they don't really have a decent record away from home. It's very mixed. But yeah, nonetheless, it don't matter if they'd won every away game up to this point. We still need to be winning. West Ham, they're clearly to be got at. You know, they're having a tough season. It's a transition season for them. They brought in a lot of players. And they've got a new coach, you know, David Moyes. He's been at that club for a good couple of years now. And with Lopetegui, it's reinventing the identity that some players have known for years. So it's going to be a interesting game. Hopefully City got their shoes fully laced. You know, but we'll see. It's a tough one. Connect the brother song is stuck in my head. Luckily, I've avoided listening to it too much because I fear the same thing. Last thing I want to be like is just chilling, and then I'll be like, brother, just out of nowhere. Nonetheless, though, we got a big game. We've got a big game here, and a win has to be done. We've got to win. We've got to start 25 strong. We've got to try and scare other teams to some extent. You know, make them think, oh, maybe City are back. 2 wins on the trot. We got Salford midweek, and if we can beat Salford, which we absolutely should beat Salford, then it's like 3 wins in a row, and we can actually build off that. We got difficult games incoming. We need all the momentum we can get. If we don't fail this, then if we don't win this and we fail to, we're in a very difficult spot. Beating Salford. Oh, Salford next week, not midweek. Man, I've been like thinking to myself that it's midweek this whole time. Big ups to that. But nonetheless, Salford next week then. If Salford is our momentum going into this huge run of games we've got incoming, because on this run we've got like PSG, Club Brugge, I believe we've got Southampton, but then we've got United, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, I believe. United is a huge run coming February time. And if we can get all the momentum we can in January to give us a boost, then I'll take it. And the signings on the way too are crucial. But nonetheless, we'll talk about signings later. I'm excited to talk about them live. If you haven't already, feel free to watch. The video I did, uploaded yesterday, I believe it was. So feel free to go watch that. I speak about Marmoush for a couple of minutes. He gets his own little segment, so feel free to watch that if you haven't already. And yeah, he's so fast as well. What is this? Is this Abdou Kodir? Yeah, I saw a couple of clips of him, and he looks mental, fast as well. We haven't got like a rapid centre back, and I think that's the way to go for centre backs now in the future. Look at Van der Ven, absolute monster for Tottenham when he's playing well. I know Liverpool got relatively quick defenders. Van Dijk's not slow by any means. And Konate's pretty quick too. I think quick defenders are the way to go from now on. Anyways, thank you all for tuning in. I do appreciate the support. We're back in 35 minutes on Connect Gaming. FC25 is back. Astrobot, small break. It will be back there. Thank you all for tuning in. I'll see you all in the next